In the heart of Silicon Valley, where dreams are coded into billion-dollar realities, one young visionary promised to change the world with a single drop of blood. But what if that promise was built on a foundation of lies? This is the story of Theranos, a company that soared to unimaginable heights, only to crumble into oblivion. From boom to dust, it's a cautionary tale of ambition gone awry. Imagine a world where a prick of your finger could diagnose hundreds of diseases, faster and cheaper than ever before. That's the revolutionary idea that Elizabeth Holmes sold to the world. Born in 1984, Holmes was a prodigy with a fear of needles, inspired by her own childhood experiences. At just 19, she dropped out of Stanford University in 2003. Theranos, name blending, therapy, and diagnoses. Air. Vision. A portable device called the Edison that could run comprehensive blood tests from a mere droplet, eliminating the need for painful vials and expensive labs. It sounded like science fiction, but Holmes made it feel inevitable. Investors whispered about her charisma, her black turtlenecks echoing Steve Jobs, and her unblinking stare that commanded rooms. Little did they know, the seeds of deception were already sown. In those early days, Theranos operated in stealth mode, shrouded in secrecy. Holmes raised her first millions in 2004, convincing venture capitalists that her technology would disrupt the $50 billion blood testing industry. By 2009, Ramesh Sunnybalwani, a software executive and Holmes' romantic partner, joined as CEO, bringing operational muscle to the operation. Together, they built a fortress of non-disclosure agreements, firing anyone who questioned the tech. Foreshadowing the storm ahead, early employees noticed glitches. Edison machines often failed, spitting out inaccurate results. But Holmes pushed on, painting a picture of innovation that masked the flaws. Funding poured in. $6 million here, $45 million there. By 2010, Theranos had secured over $400 million, valuing the company at $1 billion. Holmes became the youngest, self-made female billionaire, gracing magazine covers and TED stages. She hobnobbed with presidents and generals, securing deals that hinted at global impact. Yet, beneath the gloss, the machines weren't ready. Tests were being run on modified commercial devices, not the vaunted Edison. The boom was building, but so was the pressure cooker of unfulfilled promises. Then came the peak, a dizzying ascent that seemed unstoppable. In 2013, Theranos emerged from the shadows with a blockbuster partnership. Walgreens, the pharmacy giant, invested $50 million and planned to install Theranos wellness centers in stores across America. Patients could walk in, get a finger prick test, and receive results in hours for pennies on the dollar. Media frenzy erupted. Forbes named Holmes one of America's richest women in 2014, estimating her net worth at $4.5 billion as Theranos hit a $9 billion valuation. Investors like Rupert Murdoch and the DeVos family poured in hundreds of millions more. Holmes was everywhere. On CNBC, in Wired, hailed as the next tech messiah. She claimed the Edison could detect everything from cholesterol to cancer markers with unparalleled accuracy. Board members included heavyweights like Henry Kissinger and James Mattis, lending credibility to her empire. It was the ultimate Silicon Valley fairy tale disruption, innovation, and a heroine defying the odds. But as the hype crested, cracks began to show. Whistleblowers inside Theranos grew uneasy. One lab director quit after discovering that only a fraction of tests were run on the proprietary devices. Most were diluted and processed on standard machines, risking patient safety. The tension mounted. How long could the illusion hold? The downfall struck like a thunderbolt, swift and unforgiving. In October 2015, the Wall Street Journal published a bombshell expose by reporter John Kerr titled, "Hot Startup Theranos has struggled with its blood test technology." It revealed insider accounts of faulty machines, manipulated data, and regulatory dodges. Holmes had claimed 240 tests from a drop of blood. In reality, the Edison handled barely a dozen, and even those were unreliable. The article detailed how Theranos voided tens of thousands of test results, endangering lives. Investors reeled had they been duped. Regulators descended. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, CMS, inspected the labs in 2016, finding severe deficiencies. They revoked Theranos' license to operate its Newark lab, banning Holmes from owning or running a lab for 2 years. Walgreens sued for $140 million and shuttered all 40 wellness centers. The valuation plummeted from $9 billion to zero in months. Balwani and Holmes faced SEC charges for massive fraud, accused of raising $700 million through false claims. The emotional whiplash was profound. From adoration to outrage, Holmes went from icon to pariah. Cliffhanger moments unfolded in court filings emails, showing Holmes overriding scientists' warnings, Balwani berating staff. By 2018, Theranos dissolved, its assets sold for scraps. The dream machine, scrapped as junk. In the aftermath, the human cost emerged starkly. Patients received erroneous results. One woman was falsely told she had a thyroid condition. Another endured unnecessary treatments for a misdiagnosed infection. Whistleblowers like Tyler Schultz, grandson of board member George Schultz, faced harassment and legal threats, but persisted, exposing the rot. Holmes and Balwani's trials gripped the nation. In 2021, Holmes' fraud trial began. Delayed by her pregnancy, prosecutors painted her as a calculated deceiver. The defense claimed she was manipulated by Balwani. Jurors convicted her on 4 counts of wire fraud in January 2022, sentencing her to 11 years in prison. Balwani followed, convicted on 12 counts and sentenced to nearly 13 years. Theranos' legacy: a void where innovation was promised, leaving investors out $700 million, and the biotech world wary of hype. The company that aimed to save lives instead shattered trust in Silicon Valley. Fake it till you make it ethos. Reflecting on Theranos' journey from boom to dust, we're left pondering the fragility of ambition. Elizabeth Holmes embodied the American dream, youthful genius toppling giants. But her story reveals the dark side of unchecked hubris. In a world obsessed with rapid success, she reminds us that true progress demands transparency, not illusion. Human nature craves shortcuts, fueling movements that inflate like bubbles, only to burst and scatter into a... Theranos vanished, its name now synonymous with scandal. A dustbin artifact of Yet, in its ashes lies a timeless lesson. Empires built on sand inevitably crumble, teaching us the impermanence of glory and the enduring value of integrity. As we chase the next big thing, let's remember boom is fleeting, but dust endures.